Have you all ever seen someone be hypnotized? I've personally never seen it, but I know that when someone hypnotizes you, they are able to like completely control your mind, right? Like they're able to literally like take things away from your mind or put things in your mind, and you don't have any choice but to believe it. So the question today is, having control over your mind, how does that create freedom? It creates freedom because if you have complete control over your mind, you are able to remove things from it. Just like a hypnotist, you can hypnotize yourself, and you are able to put things in it. You are able to make it work how you want it to work. And the reason why having control over your mind creates freedom is because our minds is what's linked to all of these feelings and emotions. It's what's linked to our logical thinking. It is what is linked to our actions. What we think, so a man thinketh, then he shall be. And so if you are able to have control over your mind, then you are able to have control over your life. And having complete control over your life is the freedom that we all desire, believe it or not. I believe so. If you want to have a life that reflects your deepest heart's desires, you have to get your heart and your mind on alignment. The way that you do that is you practice different skills in order to be able to instantly calm or instantly remove certain thoughts from your mind. When you think, people don't understand how significant thoughts are. When you think, you are literally pulling things from the ether, from what creates all. And when you do that, you don't know, maybe on a conscious level, or some people maybe don't know that you are literally creating reality when you think. And so what you think is very, very important, that you are mindful of what you think, because what you think will begin to manifest itself in your life. If you want to have control over your life, you have to think good things. And this is not just good things about yourself. This is good things about everyone and everything. You have to become an extremely positive person. And I know that that can be very difficult for some people. I know when I first started practicing positive thinking and having control over my mind, it was difficult for me because I was accustomed to being very hard on myself. And I was accustomed to having a very negative, pessimistic mindset. I would always default to the worst case scenario, or I would always be very hard on myself, like, you dumb, like, why would you do that? You cannot talk to yourself like that in your mind. You cannot allow for things also to manipulate your mind. That's how much strength that you have to have in your mind. You have to be able to switch when things try to infiltrate your mind. So our brains, in my opinion, I'm not a scientist, but I believe that we work off of frequencies, and our brains work in a kind of way where it can pick up all kind of frequencies. It can be stuff happening down the street. It can be stuff happening in your country. It can be stuff happening right in your house that begins to implant thoughts in your mind. And you have to begin to be the observer of your mind in the way where you know what's really you and what's not you. I have this theory about people who are schizophrenic. And like I say, I ain't no doctor, I ain't no scientist. So take my words with a grain of salt. But when they begin to hear all of those voices, I feel like schizophrenic people have a superpower that no one's told them that they have. They are able to pick up on so many layers of dimensions of frequencies, and they are able to hear so many different thoughts. What no one is telling them is they have to find their voice in those thoughts. Or maybe someone has told them that, I don't know. You have to find your voice within the thoughts, your higher voice, okay? Because there are going to be a lot of things that come in and whoop, whoop, zip, zip, zap, and out of this head, okay? And It's not possible always to have complete control over your environment. It's not possible to have complete control over what happens at work or what happens when you're out and about driving or this or that. Something may happen. And so when you hear a thought in your head, you observe it. That is the key. You observe it before you act on it, before you attach a feeling to it. You observe it and you think, use your brain to think about the thought. I'm sorry, but it's kind of funny, but like use your brain to think about the thoughts and like evaluate if this is a positive high vibrational thought or if this is a negative low vibrational thought. Begin to put them into buckets, separate them. And as you do that, you are able to begin to weed out the things that are trying to pull you down to a lower vibrational state. When people don't have control over the thoughts in their head, when they hear voices, when they are scared, when they're full of fear, you have allowed for the lowest version of yourself to hijack you and control your life when that version of yourself doesn't even have a driver's license. It shouldn't even be driving. Do you understand? And so in order to take back the wheel of your life and to gain the freedom that you deserve, because you are a sovereign being, you are a creator, you are God manifest into human form. Do not limit yourself with this mind. Okay? Your mind is very much full of limits because it tries to tell you to think about how this can happen or why this can happen or why did this happen to me. It wants you to be a victim sometimes. It wants you to try to over explain and over analyze. You are a walking miracle. Do you understand? All you need to do is just trust yourself. Trust yourself and begin to observe your mind in a very curious way. Don't attach yourself to the negative thoughts and begin to learn the practice of stilling your mind. Still your mind in a way where you are able to sit peacefully and allow the thoughts to pass through you like vapor. I won't even say like water, because water still clings to things. Water is allowed to be manipulated when things go through it. It moves. I want you to be like vapor. Just let it pass right through you. And as you begin to build that skill, you will realize that having control over your mind gives you the freedom that you deserve in your life.